This is a video introducing Year 7 fractions, and I would encourage students to pause the video and have a go at the problems yourself, and then I'll go over the solutions. The marks are recorded in the bottom right hand corner of the questions, and it gives you some idea of the type of questions and the associated marks. So pause the video and have a go at these three questions, and then I'll do the solutions. Okay, so hopefully you've done that now. So if we've got 3/4, it says draw a diagram to show the idea of 3/4. So I'm going to draw a nice circle. That's a terrible circle. Actually, there's a function on here to do circles. Shapes. Circle. Okay. There we are. That's a lovely circle. Shapes. Okay. And so the denominator, the bottom part of a fraction, tells you the total that the shape is out of, and the numerator, the top part of the fraction, refers to how many we have, and in this instance we have 3. In the second question, it says what fraction is the shaded area? Well, the shape is out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the total is 7, and there are 2 shaded. Now it says in question 3, complete the following. So these are equivalent fractions. So we need to decide what number we multiplied to get from 3 to 12. So effectively solving this equation, 3x is equal to 12, x must be equal to 4. That's a multiply by 4. Whatever we do to the denominator, we must do to the numerator. 1 times 4 is 4. If we want to check to see if our answer is correct, 4 over 12, we can divide by 4, the highest common factor, to get 1 over 3. The same for the second one. We multiply by 3, multiplied by 3. 2 times 3 is 6, and those are equivalent fractions. So the next question says, fully simplify. Okay, these are equivalent fractions. This time we divided by 5. On the numerator, we must divide by 5. Sorry, we divided by 5 on the denominator. We must divide by 5 on the numerator to get 3. Now, if we have a large number which ends in zeros, we can divide the numerator and denominator by 10 to help us out if we can't find the highest common factor. So let's do that then. Divide by 10, divide by 10. Another way divided by 10 is to cross the zeros off. So there we have 103 over 200. 103 and 200 are referred to as coprime because they share no common factors. Question 5 says, which of these is the largest fraction? So here we need to consider the lowest common multiple. The lowest common multiple of 4, 20 and 100. So let's list the multiples of 4, 20 and 100. I would recommend starting off with the largest. Blob's too big. Okay, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 4, 8, 12, 16, and eventually you will get to 100. 4 times 25 gives 100. So the lowest common multiple here is 100. So we need to multiply the denominator by a number to get 100. So this is 25. This is 5. We now get 25 over 100, 5 over 100, and 1 over 100. Obviously, this is the largest fraction. The same here. We must ask ourselves, what is the lowest common multiple of 5, 10, and 15? That is to say, the lowest number which 5, 10, and 15 will divide into. So again, we always consider the largest: 15, 30, 10, 20, 30, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So we can multiply the numerator and denominator here by 6, here by 3, and here by 2 to get like fractions with the same denominator. This is 24 over 30, 21 over 30, and 22 over 30. So the largest one is going to be 24. Okay, so continuing with the theme of the lowest common multiple, there's two ways to add fractions. We can use the cross multiplication method. This is a good way to check to see if you got the correct answer. So 1 times 7 is 7, 3 times 7 is 21, all over 49. So this gives 28 over 49, and we look for factors of 28 and 49. And we get 4 over 7, because we divide by 7, divide by 7. The same goes for the second one. We can use the cross multiplication method. Nothing to do with multiplication. It's used for additions and subtractions. An easier way to do this is to consider the lowest common multiple. Incidentally, here we have like fractions. So we can just add them straight away to get 4 over 7. Here we have unlike fractions, so we must ask ourselves what the lowest common multiple, the LCM of 10 and 5 is. Well, I'm hoping you can recognise that that is 10. So we've got 3 over 10 plus 4 over 10 is equal to 7 over 10. We can use the cross multiplication method to check. 3 times 5 is 15, 2 times 10 is 20, all over 50, and we get 35 over 50 divide by 5 to get 7 over 10. I hope you can all recognise that we can multiply numerator and denominator by 2 because the lowest common multiple of 8 and 4 is 8. To get 7 over 8, subtract 2 over 8, which is 5 over 8. If you really don't understand the lowest common multiple method, you can use the cross multiplication method to get 28 minus 8 all over 4 times 8 is 32. That gives 20 over 32. Let's say we didn't know the highest common factor of 20 and 32. If they're both even, we can continually halve until we arrive at two numbers which are called prime. Okay, so we ask ourselves, what is the lowest common multiple of 3 and 10? Lowest common multiple is 30, so we multiply by 10, multiply by 3, multiply by 3 to get 20 over 30 plus 9 over 30. That gives 29 over 30. If we are really unsure about using the lowest common multiple method, we can do cross multiplication. 20 plus 9 all over 30, 29 over 30. The lowest common multiple of 4 and 6, we look at the multiples of 4 and 6, is 24. Okay, classic mistake. The lowest common, 24 is a common multiple, but not the lowest common multiple. Mr. Winston is up very late at night making this video. So, lowest common multiple is 12. To give 10 over 12 plus 9 over 12. To give 19 over 12, that goes in once. Okay. And we can check using cross multiplication that we are correct. To get 20 plus 18 all over 24. That gives 38 over 24. So that goes in once. And there are 14 over 24 left over. So that it goes in once. And we can divide by 2 to get 7 over 12. When we multiply in fractions, we don't need to consider whether the denominators are the same or not. We can just multiply straight out. So let's do that. To get 7 over 30. 7 and 30 are co-prime. They don't share any common factors apart from 1. So we can't simplify 7 over 30. The same with B. Except we can divide by 2 to get 3 over 5. Now we write down the first one, we invert the second one, then multiply as normal. Now these are mixed numerals, so I'm going to show you how to convert a mixed numeral to an improper fraction. We do 2 times 5 plus 1 all over 5, that gives 11 over 5. So we've got 11 over 5 multiplied by 4 over 3. So we just multiply straight out, that gives 44 over 15. How many 15s in 44? Well, 1 15 is 15, 2 15s are 30, 4 15s are 45, so we have 2 and 14 over 15. Okay, so that ends our video on fractions. Just a little recap. Say for instance we have a, b over c. This is called a mixed numeral, and we can convert a mixed numeral into an improper fraction by multiplying a by c, adding b all over c. So you have a go at converting 2/5, 3 3/4, and 7 over 8 over 9. Off you go. Okay, so this gives 2 times 5 is 10, 11 over 5. 3 times 4 is 12, plus the 3 is 15 over 4. 7 times 9 is 63, plus 8 is 71 over 9. We can check to see if we've done the right answer by doing 71 divided by 9, which goes in 7 times. 7 times 9 is 63. And what is left over should be 8. 63 plus 8 is 71. Okay, so that concludes our short video on fractions. Keep up the good work and do lots of revision for your exam.